Hey guys, how you all doing? It's Bavna from BohoSnips. I hope you've had a lovely weekend. In today's video, it's going to be a mixture of things. So I'm going to show you some items which are going to be listed in my Etsy shop. And then we're going to actually finish off some journal covers together. So yeah, so do craft along with me when we get to that stage. And yeah, so lots of different things. Well, not lots of different things, but a little bit of a variety today. So, and it's a let's craft video today as well. So the first thing I wanted to show you is my fabric washi tapes. So these are all Indian fabric washi tapes. I do apologise for my nails, by the way. I do need to obviously get rid of my existing nail varnish and yeah, do a little bit of what should I say, nail varnish. Well, go back in and paint my nails again, so I do apologise for that. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, so these are all Indian washi fabric tapes, and like I said before in previous videos, they are vintage and they are contemporary pieces as well. So these are the fabric tapes that I've created from my fabrics, and these are going to be available for purchase in my Etsy shop. So you'll get a whole variety of kind of textures of fabric washi tapes, and you'll get different sizes as well. So let's just start off with this one. So I'm going to just I'll bring this to the camera so you can see. So this is the whole collection together, and then we'll go through some of the individual pieces. So that's a fabric washi tape, and I've actually applied double-sided strong tape. So this is not your usual fabric washi tape that you can buy from craft shops. This is actually real strong double-sided tape, which I've applied to the back of my fabrics. And all you'll do is you'll just peel that top layer off, and you'll be able to stick this down and onto any kind of project sheet that you have. So you could use this for your embellishing your journals with, decorating your journals with. You could use it for all sorts of mixed media projects, and also any kind of fabric related projects. But if you're going to use this, you could actually make a journal cover with these washi tapes. However, what I would say is that if you're going to go back in with sewing, then that would not be a good idea, because the adhesive on these tapes are quite strong, and it could ruin your sewing machine and your needles. So I wouldn't want you to necessarily do that. But if you just wanted to create your covers with your fabric covers with using these tapes without any kind of sewing involved, then go ahead and do that. I don't see that there's a problem in doing that. In fact, what I will probably do is I'll actually do a video showing you how I go about, or how I'm going to go about making a journal cover, just by placing these fabric washi tapes down onto onto some paper which is of high GSM, or some cardstock or something, so we can do that together. But anyway, I digress again. I do apologise. So this is a pack which will be out into the Etsy shop very soon. It'll be listed in it soon, and it's got a variety of colours and different sizes, and obviously they've all got the backing on there. So you've got that one. I'm going to get closer. So you've got your blue, and you've got your green and gold, and then you've got a nice little piece there. So you've got different sizes for different kind of ways of decorating your journal with. And don't forget, you can also cut into these pieces as well, so that'd be quite good. So if you do want to use the whole piece onto a page, then you don't need to. You can just cut a little piece from that, why not? So you've got different textures here, and you've got some plain pieces, and then you've got some embellished fabrics as well, with some sequins on them and some embroidery. There's another small piece. So these little tiny pieces will be good for like putting onto your journal tags, or putting onto your pages on the sides as well as tabs. So that's a good idea as well. So there you go. So you've got that one there as well. I do apologise if I'm going too fast. So you've got a whole variety of colours. Now, as I keep creating these packs, the packs may be replicated on some occasions, and they might slightly differ as well, but when I do list them, or when I do show you, these are the ones that you will be receiving in that pack. So what I'll do before I list them, as I've done today, is I'll show you the fabric washi tapes that are in the pack, if I can do in the videos, in the up and coming videos as well. So here's another piece as well. So that's a plain one there. Okay, and some fabric pieces are thinner than others, and some are quite thick. So this one I've just placed a strip of the tape on the back, so you could just then have it as a little flap if you wanted to put something underneath it, or you could use it to actually what's it called, to actually use it as a hinge as well, so you can use them as hinges, so that'd be quite good as well. So there you go, that's a nice piece there. And then you've got that on there, which I showed you last time, and then just a small orange piece there. And what I'll do is I'll do a video, which I did say I was going to do in my last video about the fabric washi tapes, but I'm just showing you the actual product today and what you're going to get inside. So this will be a listing in itself with these particular pieces in there, fabric washi tapes in there. That's a nice piece there. So it's black and gold. I'm not sure if you can see very clearly on camera. That's a plain kind of deep red, and then just a strip of gold there. So that's your pieces there, and then they'll come in, they'll be packaged up into one of my Indian fabric digital pieces. Sorry, went off focus there. And they'll be placed into the pack. So presentation is key to my products. I try and make sure that, you know, when I do kind of put something together, it's looking nice and pretty, and I'm very clear about what you're going to get as well. So that's the fabric pack, Indian fabric pack washi tape that you'll get, and it will be listed very soon. Now if you're interested, after you've seen this video, just simply message me on my email address, which is in the description box below. So do, and if you know, if you're interested and you want some other colors also, like I said to you, I can try and put something together for you as well. Okay, so that's that. And I've tried, obviously, you know, I've created some using just the basic, not this one, where is it, just using the basic kind of double-sided tape that you can get in the craft shops onto some of my fabric pieces. And what I've done is I've placed them onto, for example, I've actually created a paper clip. Okay, so I've actually used the fabric washi tape to embellish a paper clip with. Okay, so that's it there, you can see that there. So that's the double-sided tape that you can get into the craft shops. Obviously I've not taken that off yet, because then if I do that, it's going to get stuck. So this was just for kind of demonstration purposes. And by the way, this is the no sew binding journal strip notebook clip that we put together. And then, not sure if I showed you, but I started obviously decorating it and, you know, putting some elements into the notebook. So let me just put this away a second and I'll show you the other. Right, so I've put the notebook look together that we made together last time, and then I've created some pockets as well, which is something we're going to be doing today. So that's a craft along piece that we're going to be making today using the Indian papers. So if you can see there, I've used the fabric washi tape onto one of the pockets to decorate it with. Okay, so I was just kind of doing a little dummy run of what I could use it for in this particular notebook clip, so it gives you an idea of ideas for yourselves, and I'm sure you can think of other ways of using them as well. So I've just used it as a page tab there. Okay, can you see that? Hopefully you can. Let me just put the camera in focus. There we go. Okay. So yeah, and then as I said, I did carry on and continue to decorate my notebook, my no sew binding notebook that we made last time. So I'm going to use that piece there. I digress, but I will tell you what this is about. So I was using these to create some of these, what do you call them? There we go. So I created some of these from this piece there using my small round circle hole punch. And then I was left over with this, and I thought to myself, well, what can I do with this? As we all know, we'd like to use up all our scraps, and I thought, oh, I'm going to just use that as probably a decoration piece or use it as a belly band. So that's what I've done there. There's another pocket. So with these pockets, what I did do is I actually, if I just take this paper clip off, this is a round the page pocket, which the concept is obviously not my own. Well, it's not obvious, but it's not my own concept. I do need to glue the sides here. It's I can't remember her name, Patricia and Roxy from Roxy Creations. So I was just looking at some ideas of how to create pockets with this paper, and I love this idea, and I love the fact that you can actually fold it around your page. So you can fold it around your page, and then you can clip it in any way you want to with a paper clip, and you can obviously use your own decorated paper clips as well. So here's another one. So going back to the washi tapes and what you can use them for, I've used this here. So I've just created a little ruffle with the washi tape and put it as a little page decoration on the side. Here, as I've mentioned before, I've used it as a hinge. So I've used it to hinge the pocket to the actual page with. So that's quite nice there. So I've used that little tiny piece of fabric washi tape to hinge that to that, and it's, there you go. You can see it's all hinged in. I didn't have to use anything else apart from this particular tape. And I've created a pocket inside that with my tab in, and again I've decorated my little tag with this fabric washi tape here, and that's got a little ruffle of its on its own. So that's quite pretty there. There's so many ways that you could use this for card making projects as well, the fabric washi tape, and for journal cards, to make journal cards with. So here you go, here's another piece of that fabric washi tape that I've actually placed down here. So it's, you don't need any scissors or glue, maybe scissors to cut, you know, your pieces, your fabric washi tapes into smaller pieces, but you don't need no glue. You literally just, and you can carry them around, you know, when you're away, put them in a bag and carry them around and add them to your projects, your journals, or whichever projects you're choosing to do with them, wherever you want to. So really manageable. So yeah, so that was the ways that I use the fabric washi tape, and I'll be doing another video which shows you other ways that you can actually use your fabric washi tapes with as well. It's just not had the chance really. I'm just going to pop that in there. So that's what we're going to be doing today. The pockets from the Indian papers. And then what else did I want to show you? Oh yes, I created this as well on Friday evening, and I was creating those pockets that I just showed you, and then I put the pockets together, and I thought, well, do you know what, I actually glued them, and I can show you how I did this. Glued them together, and then I just put another piece of my digital papers, Indian digital papers, as a cover, and then that was it. And then I created like a little folio where I can, you know, store my little fabric washi tapes into. So these are, that one hasn't got any kind of washi tape in the back, double-sided tape, but there we go. So this is the, like I said before, this is the double-sided tape you can buy from, you know, places like The Works in the UK or any other, or Hobbycraft, for example. But obviously these are not as sturdy as the tape I've used in the pack. So this one is completely different. This is going to stay on the project for forever. It's a strong grip tape. So yeah, there you have it. So yeah, I've just kind of created this little folder or storage pouch to store all my little tapes in, and so we'll use these fabric washi tapes in another project, or to create embellishments with. How about that? What do you think about that? So we can do that. Okay, so that's that. The other thing I wanted to show you was, I'm just going to have a sip of my tea, if that's okay. It's a beautiful day. Do excuse me. It's a beautiful day in the UK today. It's apparently going to be 20 degrees, I think, today. But it is a lovely day. The sun's out, and that's all that matters, right? As long as the sun's out and we've got our glue, paper and scissors, we can craft away on this beautiful day. So the other thing I wanted to show you was the autumn boho pack, which I've put together. Again, this pack is created with all the vintage and contemporary Indian fabrics which I've got. So this is the autumn pack which I've put together. So it's got the greens and the reds and the oranges in here. So another product update. And if you're interested in this pack, just simply email me or message me, not a problem, in the description box below. And this is such a beautiful pack that I've put together. I think it is anyway. And again, you can use this for all sorts of projects, whether it be embellishing your journals with, to make journal covers with, for slow stitching projects, slow stitching, crazy quilting projects, mixed media and art projects. You can use these fabrics for anything, and some are thicker than others as well, and some are thinner. So this is the autumn collection. So this would be beautiful to make, you know, any project with. But for me, I obviously make journal covers with my fabric, so that's really pretty. Can you see that? I think I showed you this last time. And yeah, so here's another piece. That's really pretty. So it's got sequins and embroidery on this one. And then this is a thinner piece. So again, you could cut these down to sizes that are suitable for your projects. So this is a green and gold piece. I'm trying not to move them around too much on the camera because I don't think that really helps yourselves see the piece. This is one of the orange pieces. I'm not sure if there's any shadows going on in my video, but if there is, I do apologise once again. So this is really pretty. This is quite sheer, the fabric is. I'm sure I showed you this one in the previous video, but this particular pack is an autumn pack, so it will just have these colours in there, won't have any other colours. And you've got bronze in there as well, so you've got bronze, green, red, orange in here, and then obviously it's embellished with either embroidery or sequins as well. So that one I showed you last time, that's really pretty. Okay, and there's that strip. And another piece there. So I hope everybody's doing well today. I hope you've done lots of crafting over the weekend and had a relaxing time in creating whatever you've chosen to create or finishing off projects. I'm still in the middle of finishing off so many projects. I've got an event coming up this Friday, and I'm selling obviously some journals which I'll be putting together, and some art pieces as well at this event. And it's, you know, hopefully it's going to be a good one. It's at a place called LCB in Leicester, just around, it's in the city of Leicester, and they have this event every end of the month. So it's end of the month on every Friday, and I thought, well, I've not done an event for some time, so obviously I will be attending and selling my items that I've created there. So I'm looking forward to going back out there and meeting people again. The last one I did was earlier this year. I think it was when was it? March time this year, and that was really well. That was, yeah, I enjoyed that one, but I had to cancel a few because my mum's been very poorly, and so I couldn't attend some of the events that I'd actually booked in. So you can see that there's quite a few pieces in this autumn pack. I will list down the number of pieces you get, but there is a fair few, and I think this pack will be actually listed as being £15 because there's so many pieces in here. And to be honest, what I do is when I write down the number of pieces, what I do is actually throw in some more in there as well, because, you know, why not? I like to be generous with what I'm giving to people, so they've got a variety to play with, and, you know, this pack will kind of last a long time. And yeah, it's always nice to kind of give extra pieces as well. Why not? You know, they're gonna enjoy it, and the kind of feedback I'm getting from customers is they just love seeing what comes through the post and presentation of the packs that I put together, and also, you know, you know, sometimes you can be afraid of something as well when you've got something so beautiful but you don't know what to do with it, or you do have a project in mind and then you look at the pack or the pieces, you're like, oh gosh, they're so beautiful, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them, or I've changed my mind. But you know, yeah, so there's plenty in here, as you can see, plenty of pieces. So yeah, so this video was about showing you some of the listings and, you know, fabrics that I've got in my Etsy shop, which will be listed into my Etsy shop. And then what we'll do, if we've got time, because we're on 20 minutes, we'll make some pockets together. So that's a plan. And then, yeah, we'll do that. So there we go. And then we might also, in my head, was going to actually plan to finish off some journal covers on video, because I thought, well, I could just kind of finish them off and film it at the same time. So this piece is, you can use this as like a little booklet, because it's got 3 layers on it. I thought that'd be quite good to use in, you know, journals. You can actually, yeah, it's like a little booklet, fabric booklet in itself, so you get a fabric booklet in there as well, the autumn collection. This is really pretty. I'm sure, yeah, this is quite sheer, but then you've got these little leaf shaped pieces on here as well. I think there's a double piece of that, there is, I think, and then you've got this orange one here with, this is quite sheer. So yeah, so that's your autumn fabric pack, Indian fabric pack or boho pack, and you've seen the elephant before, so you'll get a piece of the elephant in there as well. And if you've got any questions about the packs as well, feel free to message me. Like I said, if you don't live in the UK, because in my Etsy shop I only ship to the UK, but if you live outside the UK and you're interested in one of the packs, I'm happy to then go away and find out how much it would cost to actually ship across a pack to yourselves, so you have a very good idea. Or you get 2 of the elephants, because they're in different shades. You've got caramel and then you've got a nice light colour there as well. So yeah, so please, you know, don't feel like you need to miss out on these packs. Like I said, you could just simply email me or message me, and I'll look into shipping costs for you once you've given me your kind of location of where you're based, and then you have a good idea as to whether you'd like to purchase a pack or not. Not a problem, as mentioned previously. So yeah, so there we go. That one goes that way. So shiny and pretty. This one's one of my favourites. Really is. Really, really pretty. So that's the autumn pack. So hope you enjoyed looking through that. We're going to put those to one side and get that listed and put it into the Etsy shop. Now, I was going to show you something else, but what I'm going to do is I'll show you that next time. It's some of the trims, actually, that I was going to show you. Shall I show you or not? In fact, I will show you, because I've got so many trims to show you. So I will show you what I put together, and it won't fit onto camera. All of it will fit onto camera. It's in fact, I've just knocked over the camera. So what I'm going to do is I will put some of these down and show you the rest. So what I've decided to do is, you know, now and then in the videos, is I will show you what trims I've got, which you can buy by the yard. And what I've done for this video is I've actually just kind of color coded them. So when I say that, I put the reds together. Okay, so this is kind of like the red trim pack, or the ribbon pack is what I'll call it. So yeah, just bear with me. I'm just gonna have a sip of my tea. Okay, do join me for a cup of tea if you like. So this, like I said, these are all kind of ribbon stroke trims, and you can buy these by the yard. Okay, so that's one of the trims. I'm just going to quickly go through them. That's a plain one there. Okay, and you'll see some of these in the autumn collection, so that's nice. So, you know, if you didn't want the little pieces, you could buy them by the yard if you wanted to. So that's why I've kind of put them this way. So this is nice. This can be used as, you know, this would be beautiful, like say the end of skirts, or you know, some kind of other projects you might have in mind. Cushions, maybe, you know, embellish your cushions with. This is the elephant piece. I've got lots of this, so that's the elephant pieces are sold by the yard as well, and I've got them in the caramel and the light colours. So here it is. Here's the big chunky one. So you can see there's tons of that, and this is the darker colour, the deep caramel colour. So you can buy this by the yard, as I've mentioned. So that's another one. So these are all the kind of red, and there might be some green in these particular trims and ribbons. And then you've got that one as well. Okay, and this one. So there you go. And then you've got this beautiful one here. So I'll just show you this. That's quite wide actually. So that one, for example, let me just give you an idea as to the width of this. So the width of this, I'm completely going about it the wrong way, is you're looking at 4 inches wide there. So that's 10 centimeters. Okay, so 4 inches wide, that particular ribbon. So the width will vary, and obviously the length is a yard or 2 yards, or which however much you want to buy. So that was 4 inches, for example. So I showed you these, and then there's some plain ribbon there, so you can use these to tie up your. These are classified sari ribbon for sure, so you can use this to tie up your journals with, because you know it's that thin, so you can use that, and that's a thicker version on that side. So that's really pretty. There's that one. I think I've just dropped my pin somewhere. I can find it. So yeah, here's my pin. Pop that back in. Okay, and then you've got this sheer piece here, and that one measures, for example, because it looks quite wide, this one as well. So that one measures 5 inches. Okay, so you're looking around about 13 centimeters, if that makes any sense. So that's quite a wide piece. So the ribbons and the trims will vary in width, but you'll get your yards, will be sold by the yards, if you wish to buy more than 1 yard. So that's that one there. And I've got more, but I'm just going to show you. I could put them into the basket, so bear with. So you got these even wide ones here, and it's not going to fit onto camera unless I go there. There we go. So there, that's another beautiful one there, and the width, this one's really wide. So again, you know, you could use this for any kind of project you wish to choose. The fabrics are beautiful. So this one actually measures just over, it's 7.5 inches, almost, yeah, 7.5 inches, 19 centimeters. So that's quite a wide one there. So that's a really pretty one, and it's quite sheer, but you can't see through that. It's not that sheer that you can see through that. Here's so this falls into the red. Again, the red's kind of deep burgundy colours, so that's a nice ribbon, straight trim there. And then you've got this one here, and I'll measure this one for you because these are quite wide, so you might want to know how wide these are. So this is 5 inches, so 13 centimeters. So that's pretty, if you can see that. And this one's super wide, so let's measure that one. That one is 8 inches, 20, just approximately 20 centimeters, and you can see it's got some decoration there as well. So some of the fabrics I've left quite wide, and then I've obviously, because saris can be, they just go, they're massive, and you get so much out of them in terms of how many, you know, the fabrics that you can get out of them. And so I've decided to leave some pieces bigger, and then gone in and created some smaller ribbons with them as well. Hope that makes sense. So that's another, these are all listings which will be into my Etsy shop very soon. But if you see any of these that you like, that I've shown you, just simply message me, and then we can sort something out for yourselves there. Okay, so that's that. And then next time I'll show you a different colour that I think think that's a fair idea. I think that's good. And then if you wanted to see a mixed batch of ribbons or trims, then I can do that. Okay, but don't forget to like, subscribe and comment in my videos. Especially do like and subscribe, and if you comment and let me know what your thoughts are about any future videos that you'd like to see me do, or any questions or queries about the fabrics, then you know that's your opportunity to do so. So just, you know, put something in the comments box as well. So that's that. So I've shown you the fabric washi tapes, which are available for purchase, just there. Okay, so you've seen those, and I've shown you the trims as well. So what we're going to do next is actually, and I've shown you the autumn Indian fabric pack as well. So that will be listed. You've got this available for purchase, the autumn pack, the washi tapes, fabric washi tapes, available for purchase. So they'll be listed soon, but if you're interested in purchasing any of these, then we can sort that out for you straight away. So don't worry about that. And then I've shown you the trims in the red colour, red and stroke what was it, green colour. Okay, so if you're interested in any of these items, just let me know, please. Email me or simply write something in the description box as well. Okay, so what we're going to do next is I'm going to finish off one of my journal covers on camera, because, you know, it's something that I've been wanting to do. I just found this cover that I did some time ago, and I really wanted to finish, and I've got other covers that need finishing as well. So I'm going to kind of just bring you along with me and finish these off. So hopefully you can see that. Let me just make sure. Yeah, hope you can see that. So what I need to do is I need to use some glue, and I use 3-in-1 beacon glue. Is it called Fabri-Tac? I don't know, it doesn't say Fabri-Tac on here, but I thought, I'm sure it's Fabri-Tac. It's acid free and it's waterproof, so this is quite a good glue to use for when you're using this on fabrics, gluing down fabrics. So what I need to do is I need to glue down a couple of these pieces, and again, these are my fabric pieces. And what I've done is I've actually just used cardstock, and I've glued them down, and then I'm going to obviously back this up with some fabric. Okay, so, and that will finish sew around it. So I'm just going to place glue around these little areas here, and then I'm going to be sewing around it the next day. So I won't be doing that on camera necessarily, and I need to let the glue dry before I run the piece through my sewing machine. Oh, that's lovely. Cold cup of tea. Okay, so let's carry on with that. Do apologise. So I'm using my 3-in-1 glue, beacon glue or Fabri-Tac, to glue these pieces together. And this particular journal cover, from what I can see, is created with my blue fabric pieces, Indian fabric pieces. So I'm just going to lay down some glue onto the fabric and then place that down onto the cardstock like that. And, you know, I try and be as careful as I can, but I'm not going to be a stickler about things. I can always tidy up afterwards, and I think, you know, that's what creating is all about. It's just kind of being a little bit easy about things and being really kind to yourself, and not getting too hung up about, you know, certain projects really, or any kind of project for that matter. So again, I'm just applying liberally, not liberally, but I'm kind of just applying a little bit of glue, because I know I'm going to go back in and I'm going to sew around the fabric cover as well. So I'm just applying the glue where it needs to be applied, where I'm not going to be sewing. So that's nice, and then pushing it down. I'm just going to add a little bit more because I can tell that there's not enough glue there. There we go. And can you sew around Indian fabrics? Yes, you can, because I've created journal covers with them already. I know some pieces have sequins on them, and you know, you think, oh, you know, you could hand sew them. If you've got a real issue with putting your fabric, especially Indian fabric, through a sewing machine, then I understand that. You don't want to ruin your sewing machine or have a broken needle, then just, you know, you could hand sew it. You could just get a needle and thread, good old days, and hand sew it, or you could just glue all the pieces down and make sure you're using good glue, like, you know, this 3-in-1 glue, for example, or any kind of fabric glue that you have access to. Okay, so that's that. So I just need to tidy up, and I just need to actually take that off. So I'm using my fabric scissors to do that. That's a little bit too much. You rather have more than less, because then you can always take away, but you can't, you can add, actually, I tell a lie. So of course you can add. And then what you could do, if you had a cover whereby the fabrics were kind of plain, then you could just go in with some kind of sequins and start embellishing your fabrics up with some, you know, sequins or beads or whatever you chose to add. Buttons is a good one. So I'm going to hold on to that little bit of scrap, and what we'll do is we can use that into another project. In fact, I might create some fabric tape with that. That'd be quite good as well. So that's it, and that's that done. I'm going to wait for that to dry, and then I'm going to start actually probably trimming a little bit off the sides of it. I think I'm going to add some more glue here. So this particular cover has been sitting around for some time, and I must have forgotten about it and I didn't finish it, but I've seen it, I saw it, and then I thought I need to finish this off. I need to, you know, go back to my previous projects and start finishing them off, to be honest. Here we go, here's another one that's been poorly glued down. I must have used some other glue, to be honest, when I was gluing these down. And obviously that particular glue has not done a good job, but I know this glue, the 3-in-1 glue, is really good, and it's more or less permanent, to be fair. But just to be on the safe side, I will be sewing around. I like to sew around if I can, you know. There we go. So I'm not sure which way round this fabric cover is going to go, but I don't need to worry about it too much right now. And like I said, if you see any pieces which are still not stuck down, you can always go back in, right? I'm sure, you know, you've seen other videos where people have done that. And if there's any kind of patches that I'm not happy with, I can always add some more fabric on there, right? So that's not a problem as well. Now this is quite a sheer fabric here, but I can't see the cardstock underneath, to be honest, so that's quite cool. So I'm really pleased with that. And then what I've done is also added a ruffle. Now I am creating some ruffle fabric packs as well with my Indian fabrics, and those will be available, and I'll show you those in the next up and coming videos as well. Okay, so that's that. So I think the cover's going to go this way, but I'm not 100% sure. So like I said, what I'm going to do actually is once that's dried, I'm going to sew around it, and then I'm going to go in with one of my food packaging boxes. So this is just an open light salted caramel, sounds delicious, box. So it's just a food box, and then I'm going to basically glue that down. So once the glue's dried, okay, I'm going to sew around here, and then I'm going to glue the piece onto this, and obviously I'll be taking off these excess pieces here. So that's a plan. Or what you could do, you know, some people I've seen actually just keep this on just to give this strength, so I might do that. So that's a plan, and then I'm going to keep this as the inside of the cover and that as the outside of the cover, and I'll probably will glue that. In fact, if I was to do that, let's have a look. Yeah, I could, or I might have to choose another food cover box, because it might not be big enough. And when I say that, if I fold over the edges, you can clearly see, if I just get myself back in frame, that this box might not be big enough. You could obviously potentially fold that in, but I don't want to do that. So this box won't be big enough width-wise. Width-wise, it might be too small, but I can use this for another cover, as another backup cover, so that's not a problem. So that's that. Okay, so that's one cover almost done, and I'll show you once I have done it and I've backed it up as well, and then we can probably do another video where I'm putting the papers together in the journal. So that will be coming. So yeah, so that's that one done. Now, the other ones I wanted to do are these ones. So I'll just show you. I'm not sure if I showed you this one before. So I'll take these out of the pack, I think. Let's not do that. Oh, transfer. So this is another cover which I've done. Okay. And what I did is I had some beautiful fabric which I found from this shop which was closing down, and I bought it and I thought I can create some beautiful journal covers with that fabric, and so I did, and it's so beautiful. I'm not sure if that actually you can see that, but it's so nice. There we go, can you see that? And that's the back. Okay, so I wanted to finish off creating these. So what I've done is use the fabric, I've glued it onto Craftex, okay, which is like it's like about fabric paper. It's really nice. And then before I've glued it and before I actually started sewing it, I actually put in my ribbon inside, so it's concealed, and then I put my papers in. So I've added in this particular one, so I've kind of using the same papers in all the others. I've used a doily, a tea-dyed doily. Then I've used some plain tea-dyed paper, some graph paper, acetate, some more paper, and then some lined paper. So it's a whole variety of papers that I've put in here. I'm just trying to think. Actually, I think this is this way around because the papers are that way around. So I'm showing you it upside down. So yeah, and then all I've done, because I wanted to make sure that this journal cover could be used time and time again, is I've just placed an elastic in the middle of the papers, and you can take the papers out and you can replace them. You know, you can add some of your own papers in. So I thought that's nice for whoever purchases this particular journal to be able to do that. You know, instead of sewing in the signature, I just decided to do that instead, because it just makes it more kind of user friendly, doesn't it, really? And then just used some ribbon and used it as a tie, as a closure. And then I've sewed around the edges. I'm not sure if that shows on camera. I've just sewed all the way around the cover as well. So I need to make more of these, and I've put the papers together and I've got my fabric, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. And I'll show you the Craftex. So these are all the papers I've put together, so I'm just going to put that to one side. So today's video, I'm just going to be gluing these down and then leave them to dry for until tomorrow, and then I can go back in and sew. So I just need to do that, so we'll do that together. So yeah, you could make a journal out of absolutely anything, you know, and there's so many videos out there that show you how to do that. Junk journals, just journals, absolutely anything. So yeah, so this is a kind of like a craft along with me video today. We're into 43 minutes, so I'm not sure if we're gonna have a chance. We'll make a couple of pockets if we can. So I'm not too bothered at this particular moment in time which way the fabric's up or down, because I can always kind of glue it, and then I can make sure I can choose the which way I want the fabric to be as a front cover and the back cover. So I've just got this Craftex. It is very sturdy and it's great for journals actually to use as your backing. And I've got the fabric. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in and I'm going to glue. I'm going to add glue. How do I want to do that? I'm just trying to think. Yeah, because I'm going to sew around this, right? So what I'm going to do is make sure I've got this exactly, the Craftex exactly where I want it, and I'm leaving a couple of millimeters on the edges, so my cover is slightly bigger than my Craftex. Okay, so we will, yeah, so I'm just going to place this down. No, don't know if you can see, but I'm just going to put the Fabri-Tac glue on the edges. In fact, I'll just put it all along the cover, just little lines of glue going across. Okay, like that. Not too much on the edge because, like I said, I do want to sew it, but just because I know where I'm going to sew it. But and what I'll do once I've done this, or done all of them, is I will put a heavy book or something on top of them for them to dry overnight, and then for me to go back in the sewing machine tomorrow. So that's my plan. That's my plan. So I'm just going to now press that down and make sure, you know. And with fabric tack, you do have, a couple of seconds or what? Oh, probably less than a minute. I don't know, or probably a minute to then move it. It's not the end of the world if something goes wrong, whatever. So now I'm going to go back in on this side and make sure I've got the edges there as well. Actually, just sorry, on the edge there, the spine area. And then just not being, there we go. So I think that's enough glue. Just make sure you got your corners if you can. So I did say earlier not to go too close to the edge with the glue, because especially if you're sewing it, but I think because I'm going to leave these two dry for 24 hours or more, I feel confident in going in with my sewing machine. And I don't have, not that it matters, a very expensive sewing machine. So, it's just a basic sewing machine, Singer sewing machine from Lidl, which I got some time ago in the sale. And I do love sewing, I mostly use it for sewing my covers. So there you go. So that's one cover done. And I don't mind these little bits because I can just pull those off. And then what I'll do to stop that from fraying anymore is I'll probably just get my lighter, and I'll just go in and stop that from fraying. So I'll do that once that's done. I don't need to worry about that right now. And if you see any little sections and stuff on the edges, if this is detaching itself from the edge, then like I said, I'm not going to be too worried about that because I am going to go in with my sewing machine anyway. So that's another cover done, and I can tidy the cover up afterwards. I'm not too bothered. So we've got one done there. So let's just put that one to one side, and I've got another one to do. So this is a wider one. So I've done tall thin ones like that, and then I'm doing this wider one because it must have been a wider fabric or something. Like the area of that fabric must have been, I wanted to capture that specific area of the fabric, so I made a wider inside cover for it. Not cover, yeah, it is a cover actually. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try and place that kind of not well, it is centered as much as I can get it centered and not worry too much. And I've just left, like I said, on the edges of the fabrics on the actual cover itself, you're looking around about 5mm. So I've just left 5mm if I can. And it's probably not 5mm all the way around, but again, I'm not too bothered. I'm not going to fuss around that too much. So again, what I'm going to do, I've placed it where I want to. It will keep fraying, and I'm not too bothered about that. And that's the thing about kind of, fabric paper and scissors, and it's not the end of the world if something goes wrong. So I'm just making sure I get in the spine area. Okay. So and the sides and the edges. Again, I'm going in with my sewing machine. I have to keep reminding myself that, because sometimes I don't use my sewing machine on these covers. I don't need to. I don't feel like I need to. And so it's just remembering that sometimes you do need to cover that. I'm just going to put that excess glue on there, and then I'm going to make sure that's nice and flat and press that down. And if you get a little bit of glue spillage on your craft X and it does come off, it kind of just rub it and it kind of rolls off into a ball. So don't worry about that too much as well. So we've got that one down, you can see, perfect, perfect. And then we're going to just go into that side as well. Okay, so again, I'm making sure I'm getting the spine area. Okay. Oops. It's going in like that. And so how is everybody in terms of, you know, how you're doing yourselves, keeping well? I had a really good sleep myself last night. I'm not a very good sleeper, I will tell you that. I have suffered from chronic insomnia over the last 15 years, and I've tried everything, and then I tried something else of recent, and it works a treat. The only thing is, what I've tried, what I have been using to help me sleep, it disappeared off online, so I couldn't purchase it, but then I actually found it on eBay, so I was super happy with that. And it helps me to sleep, and it helps me to think straight as well, because I'm going through the menopause myself. So that's another topic in itself, isn't it? The menopause doesn't help with sleep either. But like I said, historically have had chronic insomnia for some time, and I think it actually started, do apologise for that noise, it did start when the kids were born, and obviously I was on high alert, making sure that they were okay throughout the night and stuff, and constantly getting up actually took away my own sleep cycles many years ago, but that has continued into my adult years as well. Well, adult years, as I've got older, adult years. So there you go, I've glued that down as well. You can check to see if you've missed any areas that you do want to go back in with, you know, with the glue. So that's done, and like I said, what I'll do is I'm going to put these under some heavy books. Okay, so we've got that one and that one. I've just got one more to do, and then it's coming up to an hour. So what I'll probably do is do another video where it's of another craft along with me video. So that's 2 covers. I've got one more to do, which is another tall skinny journal. But I guess with this one, I don't have the fabric tack. I need to go and get some more fabric tack and cut it to size. So I'll do that. So far today, we've done the 2 covers, okay, which, like I said, I'm going to put under. So these are the 2 covers, and that's one there. It's really pretty. I'm seriously not sure. And I can see that there is, you know, that part in the middle of the spine supposed to be that there is, it's quite lumpy, but maybe what I should have done is done it a different way when I actually glued it down, but it's okay, because what I can do, because when you close it tight, when you close the book cover, you can't see it. It's only when you lay it down like that and see it, and you can always then go back in with some trim. So I'll probably use again some trim. I might use some lace actually on this one on the side and put that as a spine cover there. So yeah, so we've done these 2 covers. I'm not sure which way around I'm going to put these, but they're so pretty. I think this one's going to go this way, and then this one I think is going to go this way. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to wait for these to dry and put some heavy books or something heavy on it, and then I'll go back in and sew around the edges and tidy up these little bits here. What I might do is just add a little bit more glue there. So let's just get that one off and just add a little bit of glue there. There you go. So you can always go back in. So I don't think, you know, that you can't do that, because you can, obviously, because I'm you know, showing you can. It's not going to kind of be detrimental if you go back in. So there we go. That one actually looks like it's got some flowers, and there's a plant pot there, so I really like that. I'm not sure if you can see that. So there's the leaves, there's a flower there, and there's a little plant pot. So maybe that was the design of the fabric, I don't know. And this one, yeah, this looks the same actually. Plant pot, and then you've got some kind of leaves coming out, not sure. But there you go, folks. That's it for today. And then I will do another video where I make those pockets. And yeah, so you've got your fabric covers that I've just made. You've got your autumn pack, which I've shown you. You've got your washi tape packs, which are going to be available in my Etsy shop. And what else? And then you've got these trims, which I showed you earlier, sari trims, which you can use for all sorts of projects, and these will be available in my Etsy shop too. And I've got so much stuff to show you, which is going to be available, but I'll always make sure I do show you what I have. Okay, so hope you've enjoyed that video. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day, and yeah, and keep creating. Take care. Bye bye. Mwah.